And we're live.
Hi.
Good morning and good morning to you all. Welcome to Just Massage Therapist Podcast, where we are just massage therapists. These are just our opinions. Sometimes you're not going to agree. Sometimes you're going to be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Other times you're probably not listening, so it's okay. We are not on Instagram today because I'm on a new computer and for some reason it won't let me switch to the CNC tab. Oh, that light.
Yeah, just take
Whoa.
my time. Okay.
That's so funny. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, no, my this new computer for some reason on Instagram will not let me switch from my main account to, the business account for whatever reason. Don't know why. I'm gonna figure it out, but I did not think to figure it out before this morning at 8 o'clock my time, which is 10 o'clock your guys' time. So, ugh. But yeah, we are on YouTube and on Twitch still. So if you are here and you want to chat and comment, feel free. We've got the chat open and available. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy this after the fact, after the live fact. So, Cora, what are we talking about today?
Heat.
I think it's fitting we talk about heat.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here with my hot chocolate in my, and yes, I'm wearing this on purpose. This is my bathrobe because it's the softest, fluffiest thing I have, and other than a blanket that's on my legs.
You know what? I took mine off, so I'm just gonna follow suit because
Yeah.
I wanted to wear mine today too because it's cold in here.
It's cold, yeah, I know. So we sleep with the window, one of the two windows open, and a fan, and we sleep underneath two thick blankets in the wintertime, which here winter is a really like humid, moist cold. So it gets into your bones. It's not the dry cold, right? And like this morning before we started, I could see my breath. I think, yeah, I can still see my breath. You guys can't, but I can see my breath right now. Right? Window's still open. I'm just in a blanket in this to stay warm.
Yeah, you see, for me, it's just my boy. He runs so hot, so we have to turn it down to like 19.5 or 20 for him to actually sleep. And in the basement is so cold. But
that would be so cold in the basement. So yeah, all the things to sort of keep you warm. I was gonna turn on. I've got this thing. It's a massage thing. It just vibrates, and it has a heater in it. But the heater doesn't work unless the massage part is on, which is irritating. I could steal his heater. He's got a heater in his chair too. We like being hot.
You're in the right country for it?
I am in the right country and state.
And state.
Yeah, because some of the states are exactly like Saskatchewan.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, think about it. North Dakota and Montana, which are right underneath Saskatchewan, they're basically like Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're too far. They're too close to actually be different.
Yeah. And I may still be on the same side of the equator as you guys, but I am warm and happy. Okay. Heat therapy. So last week we talked cold. So if you didn't watch that one, watch that one. Although I don't think you need to watch them in sequence. You can watch whichever ones. But heat therapy, I do find to be more useful than cold therapy more often. Not that it's better, but I find that it is more often used, and I honestly suggest it more often than cold therapy. Mm-hmm. So, what are your thoughts on the cold as the heat as hydrotherapy?
Well, I with you, I also suggest heat a lot more. Like cold is really good for like kind of supporting your body systems. And heat is really good for that too. But I feel like as far as pain relief, even increasing circulation, heat is more of an immediate reaction there. Yeah. And it has a lot of, and it shares a lot of its properties with cold, which is very interesting too. Like hot and cold, there with the hydrotherapy aspect of things, they're very, if depending on the amount of time you leave them on, they'll have similar effects.
That is true. One of the things I love about the two different therapies is how they react to, or sorry, how the capillaries and the arterioles and venules all react to the change in temperature,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because no matter which one you put on, the initial reaction is always going to be vasospasm. Like those blood vessels are always going to first close, right? But with heat, they open faster afterwards because they recognize it and they vibrate at a higher frequency because that's all heat is higher frequency vibrations. But with cold, it takes them so much longer to dilate and open up. So they stay in that spasmodic position for longer with cold than with heat, which is why heat tends to work faster.
Yes. Yeah.
In case you were wondering.
Well, I just find that really interesting. Like, I just really, you don't really think about that part of it with heat is that vasospasm initially. But that's the body's reaction to everything that's unknown to it, right? Is that spasm. You're immediately in that fight or flight response until your body's able to process what's happening. And then it's like, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? And then it's going to respond appropriately.
Mm-hmm. And because nerves are so fast and muscles are almost as fast to react as nerves are, it's taking milliseconds to determine, oh, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Right. I can remember as a good example of this, I was doing hot stone on a client, I think a couple of weeks ago, and this client comes in and does hot stone all the time. Like that is his favorite thing, right? And I picked up a stone, and of course, my hands are a little desensitized to heat now as being a massage therapist, and before that, other things. Anyways, and I thought it was fine, but when I put it on, he had a like jump reaction that was again like within a second of getting that on there because it was just a little too hot. I let it sit for like literally 5 seconds and then tried again, and it was fine. But that initial was just a moment.
That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I haven't really, since I've switched, well, actually, since I stopped teaching, I haven't actually touched my stones, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
Sorry. Prior to this place, I didn't like working with stones, but now that I've got the stones in the case, right, the heat up case.
Oh yeah.
I can set it to whatever temperature I want it to be, and that way I know I'm never going to burn my hands. I'm never going to burn my clients. Even with that one, I knew it wasn't going to burn my client, but his body's reaction was very visceral in that moment, right? But yeah, since I got those, I really love working with them.
Yeah, I miss my stones. Like I'm almost thinking that I should just go and take a proper hot stone course because I do have clearance to have a crock pot there. Like I am allowed to bring a crock pot. I just need to make sure I have every single duck in a row for insurance.
Yeah, insurance.
It used to be because it used to be if you took it in school, it was good.
Yep.
But not anymore.
Yeah, here it's not even close to regulated. So literally anybody could do hot stones here.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, here now
say that they can do hot stones,
which is kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, it is
a little bit.
You can literally burn somebody with the hot stones if you're not being careful.
Yeah, well, I remember like I was taught by an esthetician, and the way that the esthetician showed me to do them and the way that my clinical reasoning said I should were two very different things.
Mm-hmm. I got taught in school, and then I took a couple of extra courses as well, but they weren't anything different than what I got taught in school.
That's fair. That's valid.
I would, you know what? I think I would like to take a course by someone else and just see what differences there were.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot. If you took it by who I think you took it through, I'm sure there's a lot of differences and you're going to get a lot more from it.
Yeah. Um, okay, back to actually talking about heat therapy. Sorry, we went on hot stone.
Future podcast topic potentially.
Oh, that sounds actually. Oh God, I love hot stone. Okay, sorry. What are your other thoughts about heat therapy? When do you use it? Why do you use it?
Honestly, I'll use a heat for just kind of that prep work for me. That's actually one of my favorite things to use it for. Just put that hydroculator on, or even with the stones, like just something warm. And then it kind of preps the body so I don't have to do as much to warm the area up. I can actually just get in there and start treating. Like that's where I love the sauna too. When I had access to a sauna when I was in school,
Oh yeah.
that was my favorite. I would get the clients to come into the sauna. They'd be nice and relaxed for me. And then I can just, palpate, assess the tissues, and then treat.
Yeah.
Warm up was like cutting like into a quarter essentially because the heat did it for you. So
Oh heck yeah.
yeah. And heat is really good too for just kind of promoting that circulation. It really works to increase the pliability of the fascia. So it may, as long as it's not like a really wet heat, the fascia becomes, even if it is a wet heat, actually a damp heat, that fascia becomes a lot more pliable, especially over areas like the IT band. So I really like more so the moldable applications, like the towels.
Mm-hmm.
I love paraffin on that IT band. I love painting it on that IT band. It's one of my favorite things. And then the thoracolumbar fascia too. I've like that heat and that thoracolumbar fascia. It just allows the manipulation of that SI joint and the glutes, and it just creates that chain reaction.
Oh, I agree. I don't get to use paraffin right now where I am because we don't have enough tubs, and where the tub is like way far away from where I am. I would love to be able to do that again.
Yeah, see, I don't, since I've moved, I can't really use a paraffin either, but it's something I'm like, yeah. And I'm debating. I'm just trying to I might inquire, but that paraffin takes extra time too, right? So an hour is actually going to be a little bit more if you're incorporating paraffin.
That's true.
Because that prep time and all that fun stuff. But I love paraffin.
I am a big, big paraffin fan.
It's so nice. It's amazing. And then you have a little stress ball after. That's probably actually one of my favorite parts is the stress ball.
Yeah. For those of you who have never done paraffin, do paraffin somewhere. Go somewhere where you can do paraffin. Like we have it, our nail techs use the paraffin for what are called the high maintenance treatments. Like the high maintenance mani or high maintenance pedi, they put paraffin, like they do the bag and they get the hands in and everything. And it's really nice. And I really wish, like I could probably do the hands and the feet, but I can't do the paint on.
Well, you need the brushes, and that's an adventure too, is finding the right brush that's actually going to paint it on.
Yeah, and not just drip it on in a weird way.
Yeah. And then the cleaning after, there's so much to consider with the paraffin because the cross-contamination is a thing.
Yep.
And it's self-sanitizing, quote unquote.
Well, no. It is self-sanitized because of the amount of heat that it is, right? There is a...
it's not cleaning, though. Sanitization and cleaning is not the same.
Sanitization and cleaning are not the same. So getting those... Ooh, that's another good topic. What does it mean to clean your space? Okay. We're going up in 80 different directions today.
Sorry,
I think it's because there's so much to do with heat. There's so many wonderful things that you can do with heat. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's really good. I love it.
I can still see the freaking my breath. I wish you guys could see it because it's freaking hilarious. Every once in a while you'll be talking and I'll just breathe and it'll come out.
It's like a dragon.
Roar.
Smog.
Oh my gosh. I told you last week that I had a story that had to do with heat, and I want to tell you the story.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I have a client right now who is just recently completed her um, chemotherapy and radiation treatments to the point where now she's okay to be touched, right? And let's see, she's, I should say recently, but it's been a few months since her last actual chemotherapy treatment. Right, she is currently cancer free, but they're like she's in remission, looking to being fully recovered. Right, and one of the things that she talks about is how cold her legs constantly are. Like she cannot get them warm. She when she's working, she's got a little heater that's blasting heat on her legs to keep her legs regulated and warm. And we decided to do hot stone because I wanted to see where her heat standards were and all this stuff. So I took the hot stones and I brought them down just a little bit from when I normally would keep it at. I usually keep it at 106. I brought it down to 96. Right, I go in tens on the six, and her upper body, her hands, her arms, everything was feeling everything normally exactly as you expect, right? And everything. And then I grabbed one of my bigger ones that holds the heat for a little bit longer. And I went down to her legs and I started working on her legs. And I was like, how does it feel down here? And she's like, it's okay. It's definitely not as hot as it was in my back. And I was like, what? I'm like, okay, that's a new one for me. Even with other cancer patients that I've had in recovery and remission, um, that's the first time I've ever had that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna grab a new stone. I'm gonna put it in your hand to show you the heat profile that's on your legs right now. So I put it in her hand and she couldn't hold it. She was like, this is too hot for me to hold. So I grabbed it back from her. I'm like, and then I put it on her leg and I was like, do you feel the on your leg? She's like, no, it just feels barely warm.
Dang.
So uh it has become kind of apparent, and I've asked her to go and like because she's talked about this with her doctors before, and nobody's really done anything. Nobody's talked to her about what's going on. And I'm like, well, it seems like your nerves that pick up on heat are not picking up on heat. There's a disconnect that's happened here, and we have to go through some retraining. It's the first time I've ever had to do heat retraining. I've had to do sensory retraining with people, like touch retraining, never with heat.
That's really cool.
And so over the next few months, um, it could be a few years, right? Because our nerves only regrow and remove in but 1 to 2 millimeters. Well, because it's a leg and sciatic, some of it's sciatic, it'll be up to 5 millimeters a day. That's going to take us some time.
That's still quite a good rate, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a decent rate for sure.
Yeah.
Right. But proteins and stuff moving down to regrow the axon, it takes forever. It like compared to everything else in our body that takes milliseconds or seconds or maybe minutes, this stuff takes days.
Yeah.
Right? Days, months, and sometimes years. And hers go all the way down to her toes. So that's from L2 all the way down to the toes. Like that's not from S1 where the thing pops out of the spinal column, right? It's way up where it comes out of the spinal cord at the ending point around L2.
Oh, that's an adventure.
I
Give
know.
some updates.
I was really excited to talk about this with heat therapy today.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Well,
her and I.
Are exciting.
Yeah,
like that.
she's only been in twice so far, right? So we haven't seen any progress yet. But we're gonna start seeing that progress, and one of the beautiful things is that sensory retraining she can do at home by just putting hot towels on her legs. It's one of the reasons why we use heat for home care so much because it's so easy for people to do.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to use heat on?
Honestly, it's really a toss up between that IT band and the lumbar spine. Yeah, it's kind of one of those because they're both really dense, and that and they're problematic areas for everybody. I've yet to find somebody who does not have tension there. And I just feel like that's a really huge precursor to stretching, to PNF, to massage in general. And I have a lot of clients that do have low back problems. Like I have clients that have like herniated discs. I have clients with spinal stenosis. I have clients with SI joint dysfunction, like surgeries, fusion surgeries, and all of that is creates a lot of scar tissue and irritation. And then you have those holding patterns that you compensate, and it's such a slow compensation process that you don't really realize that you're compensating. So allowing that heat and then getting them to stretch after, or using that heat before I can get in there and treat, it just makes all the difference. I find their stretches are more effective, and they come to me as the clients that do their stuff. They come and they feel there's a palpable difference in the tissue after a week.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. I was going to say scar tissue is like heat and scar tissue are best friends.
They really are.
They really, really are. I use, if I can use heat on anyone, I will always be like, do you want me to add some hot towels? Do you want me to do hot stone? Do you want me to do hot bamboo? Please let me do heat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because I really want to be able to get in there and get that scar tissue to just be more pliable, because we can't get rid of it. But with heat and with frictions, or with heat and stretching, or all of them, it can become more pliable and movable and not cause pain.
Right. And the purpose with that is to align it, right? To get rid of some of those cross links. So you can't really get rid of it because it's the body's natural defense and stabilization, but you can align it so it doesn't restrict movement, and it kind of does what it's supposed to do instead of going into hyperactive mode.
Yeah. Which, of course, it's going to go into hyperactive mode because most of us don't change the thing that caused the scar tissue.
Yeah.
Right?
That's too. Yeah.
Lev-scap and rhomboid minor, that spot, as Lev-scap and rhomboid minor have that connection of their tendon at the top of the scapula there on the medial side. Honestly, every person, at the very least over the age of 35, and most every person under that as well, that scar tissue is just like this. It's there because it's holding you back. It's not letting you fully rotate forward because it's helping to compensate. It's helping. You need it because you're not changing your posture.
Yeah.
If we just stretched your pecs a lot more and then realign these fibers, the body would take out some of the unnecessary scar tissue that's there and put down better scar tissue, and then it won't hurt anymore.
That's just it, right? And then there's like other things too. Like you have clients, like on that scar tissue, I've had clients that have had like significant injuries, like fractures and dislocations. And I'll ask them, it's like, have you ever had your pecs treated? No. The answer is almost always no. Like sometimes it's a yes, but the more, I want to say like 80% of my clients are like, no, I've never had this treated before. And it's like, okay, well, let's fix that now. And then they're like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that was sore. It's like, well, yeah. Or the gym buffs, like, oh yeah, it was a back day, shoulder day, whatever it was. And it's like, did you stretch after? Like for like a minute. And it's like, well, what'd you stretch? And then they left off like 8 stretches. It's like, hey, that's not beneficial. You're not making changes. You're increasing circulation. Like it is beneficial, but it's not beneficial in changing a thing.
I find, because since we're on this topic now and we've totally switched gears.
This is like rogue podcast topic.
I think all of our podcast topics go rogue.
Yes, last week we were pretty on the ball, though.
That is true. We stayed on topic almost the entire time. But remember, we're talking about scar tissue and compensation patterns because heat is what helps both of those things, scar tissue and the compensation pattern, right? One thing that I found over the past 17 years, right, is that the area that hurts, the area that people talk about being in pain, is almost always the area that's being pulled out of whack by the problematic muscle, which is always on the other side.
That's just it, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I think of it as like, first off, you got to kiss the boo-boo, put a Band-Aid on it.
Well, of course.
Right. And that's because that's what they're coming in for. But while you're kissing that boo-boo, we're
not actually kissing them.
No actual contact. We're just putting a Band-Aid on it. We're treating the problem area. Don't kiss your clients. It's not cool.
That's weird.
That's weird. It's just a little bit weird.
Oh, that's definitely becoming a clip. You know that, right?
Don't kiss your clients. But while we're putting a Band-Aid on it and we're treating the area that they perceive as the problem, you should be anyways, constantly on the hunt for those restrictions that you can feel leading to that area. Mm-hmm. And special testing is a really good tool for that. Like, I get asked a lot, like, do you actually do the special tests? And the special tests that I actually do the most of are my length tests. Actually, I always are my length tests. Mm-hmm. And that gives me the answers that I need. Because muscles are pulling, they're never going to push. So, and our body needs that stability always. We need that balance. And it's going to do whatever it has to keep your head straight and your ears level. It will. If it means creating curves, it means creating a hyperkyphotic posture. If it means hyperextension in the knees, whatever it is, your body's going to do it. If you have to be like this to keep your head straight, you're going to be like this to keep your head straight. It'll do whatever it has to. So It's looking at the tensions that the other muscles are producing on the attachment sites or the bones. And that's really where you want to work towards your treatment goal.
Oh yeah. That's why length testing is such an important part. Most of your special tests, are based on length testing.
Yes.
Right? They're usually based on either length testing or strength testing. Right?
Yeah.
I do a lot of length testing, and then I won't do the strength testing until I've got them on the table. And it'll just be part of treatment. And it also lets me determine what's going on.
So I usually incorporate PNF into my strength testing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh, it's so funny. So good. But all of this to say, no matter what you find, if it's the scar tissue from an area of injury or an area being pulled out of whack with a repetitive strain, or it's the actual hypertonic or contracting or spasmodic type muscles that are causing those pull patterns, heat is one of your best friends to help soften the areas and realign the areas.
Yeah.
I use it for so many things. I'm telling people, these areas that are hurting, you should put heat on it every day. Every day.
Yeah.
Go sit in a sauna every day. Go sit in a whirlpool every day. Go have a bath every day.
Yeah, I really promote the stretching in the shower too, or in the sauna. Oh, yeah. And I always actually suggest contrast. Actually, contrast is actually one of my biggest home care, like the heat, but secondary to heat is the contrast. Like, I don't usually just say use cold. I'll do the contrast because the contrast is like the best of both worlds.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I do like contrast. I don't suggest that one for my chronic clients, but anybody who's going through something right now, 100%.
See, I don't ever suggest like temperature extremes, but I will suggest like that cold mitten friction over the area. Like, just get that, or a wet cloth in ice water, and then just like move it around on the area or lay it down for 5, like until it's no longer cold, and then put that heat on. more like I don't suggest ice, but I do suggest towels.
Yeah, towels are the easiest thing to suggest. Oh, you know what I've started doing? I've started being like, get non-minute rice and put it in an old sock.
Oh yeah, yeah. Make your own bag.
Make your own bag. I have a couple of them, and every time it starts to smell funny, I just make a different one.
That works.
Right? And it takes a long time for them to smell funny.
Oh yeah, rice is one of those things.
Yeah, it is. It does eventually smell funny after you've used it enough. But yeah, no, I have two of them right now that I use for my shoulders because um, I had to. Oh my gosh, Cora, last week. One entire day I had to go into a different room than the room that I've got, and I couldn't change the table height because we didn't have enough time for me to change the table height.
Mm,
Oh, that thing was way too high.
oh,
And my shoulder is still like, I'm not happy with you right now. I'm still unhappy with you. Like I've been doing everything and it's still unhappy with me. So it's okay. It's slowly getting over it, but like I said, like these things, it takes time for them to actually heal and get over when you've messed them up. And
yep.
heat is very helpful.
It is very helpful. Yeah, I always refer to muscles as 2-year-olds. They like what's easy, what's safe, what's predictable, and they don't like change. Once change comes in, they can have a hissy fit. And heat is kind of like that candy to calm down the hissy fit.
I love that. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a patient who is also a physician. She's gonna love that because she loves hearing how people explain things in ways for non-medical professionals to hear, right? So she loves to hear all of the different ways. She's gonna love that one.
And then to get my clients to do home care, I'll be like, I'll just explain like, just like that 2-year-old, this massage is like that eye contact. No. And then your stretching is your correction. What you do at home is the correction because you got to be consistent, just like with that 2-year-old.
I love this. I've never thought about it or heard it this way. I've known you for how many years?
It's weird that you didn't hear me say that ever.
Oh my God. It's so weird. I haven't heard that. You know what? Honestly, I might have, and I might have forgotten because that does sound like my brain. But I love that. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. So we've got some new topics to like add to the list of things.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've got our topics all the way through February at this point, but yeah, we could start looking at March. These wonderful topics. Oh my gosh. Have we done a connective tissue topic yet?
I don't believe so.
Oh, we better do one.
Yeah, I think we maybe touched on it a little bit with other topics.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was like touched on when we were talking about craniosacral myofascial release. Connective tissue was touched on, and it was touched on in a couple other topics, but it wasn't actually a topic.
Yeah, we should do that. We should definitely do that. That would be fun. Oh, speaking of which, I got to get the last of the stuff ready for March. So we're doing a thing with CIMOTA in March, where we're talking about pain, specifically the intricacies of the neurons and the nociceptors and how pain actually works with your nervous system. So not broad topic. We're going deep. Uh-oh.
Super exciting.
Am I frozen on your end?
A little bit. Yeah, but I can hear you still.
Oh, that's weird. What the heck?
This is your video. You're like this.
I know. I can see it. It's freaking hilarious. Oh, I don't know what happened, but that's so funny.
Your sound is coming through, so that's good.
Okay, we'll just keep looking like I've got these weird buggy eyes. Do you have any other ideas or thoughts on heat before we say goodbye today?
I just want to throw, I don't know, I guess I'm full of cautions. I just want to throw those cautions out there with heat too, though. Even if it is good, too much of anything is a bad thing.
Yeah.
So again, you got to watch for those. More isn't better either. With any hydrotherapy, more is not better. Less is actually more. Because you can always add, But once you have given yourself a headache or given yourself or made yourself dizzy seeing spots, you can't go back.
Yeah.
And that's a thing too. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I love my hot baths. Well, that's great. I like my hot baths too. But if you get up and you're dizzy, it's too hot. Same with a hot tub. If you're in there and all of a sudden you're starting to see spots, or you get up and you're lightheaded, too hot, too long. So that's just kind of that precaution there. Ideally, you don't want to be in heat for more than 20 minutes. So kind of keep that time frame in your brain whenever you are utilizing the heat, and just make sure that you're giving your body time to adapt to it. You don't ever want to rush it either. I mean, a hydrotherapy application doesn't want to be rushed.
I agree 100%. 100%. I don't know what's going on with my camera. My camera just decided I'm not going to work anymore. So that's okay. I'll just be like this for now. It's a good timing because we're just about to end this anyway. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, to update everybody, Cora and I are having our staff meeting tomorrow. Right. So we're going to be figuring out the rest of what we want to do for 2026 tomorrow. Isn't that exciting? And then next week is our announcement live. So we'll be talking about 2026 next week, what our plans are, our dates for things, because we'll have some dates hopefully available by then. If not, our hopeful dates. And then we'll go from there. We've got a mystery guest coming in on the 31st. Might or might not be a face you've seen before. Dun, dun, dun. You'll find out. And we will see you in a week's time. Sound good, everybody? Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Awesome. I'm sorry, but my camera just went all crazy. But all right, we will see you in the next episode, my friends.
Bye.
Bye.